Hi guys, I'm Shmee. Hello and welcome back to the channel. How cool is that? The latest installation here at the Shmuseum, building my dream garage with this ESG switchable glass on the lounge. That is mega. The painted Racetrack floor by Cure is mega. But of course, we are changing this barn that was quite literally a milking parlour on a farm with absolutely nothing into it, into the dream home for the Shmeemobiles, for my car collection. But today is a very big step in this process, a very big step indeed, because we have the offices upstairs. And by the end of the day, we're going to have moved in. I'm going to have a desk with a view, and I can't wait for that. We'll catch up with what Martin and Webbo, the team from Novus, have been up to over the last couple of days to complete that space very shortly, because over the last, I want to say, a year and a half, we've been working out of our temporary gazebo solution. It's actually worked very well to have our desks over that way, but it's hardly the final solution. It's all been about creating this space that I had the idea for before we even moved in over 2 years ago, to make it like a racetrack, to have this painted floor, to have this view like you're up on a grandstand or in a hospitality box. But let's head upstairs, see where the progress has got to so far, and then later on finish up the details before it's time to start moving in. I showed you guys a demo before of how exactly this works, but we've all been completely mesmerized by this glass. If, let's say, you want to have a meeting and be totally private in there, press of a button, it goes opaque, you can't see through, total privacy, so you can be having a meeting while filming's going on out here, or if somebody comes to visit, they're in there, and then they get the wow factor of the full reveal when you can then see out into the whole hall. Of course, this is all part of the smart home setup that we have, all of the lighting and things, and I've not shown you all of that yet, but it's really quite exciting. I love this stuff, been playing around with it so much, and there's a lot more to come by way of lighting and different things being connected, and the way that you can speak to it all as well. But I want to come past this corner with all of the stuff. We might have a breakout table or something over here. The stairs have been cleaned up and are looking very, very nice. Remember, the idea with all of this was to keep it looking industrial, like you would find literally on a grandstand at a motorsport venue. But the guys here are basically tidying this space up. The most significant thing you'll probably notice that we now have here is to have had some lights fitted. We now finally have illumination. Sorry, interrupting Martin and what he's cracking on with. We also have the silicone, obviously, for the glass to hold it all in place. We're finishing, I think, today with the carpet tiles running around. We've got the ceilings that have been fitted. Obviously, we've got this amazing view with all of the cars. In fact, we need to go and talk about why the Ford GT is undercover. We'll head down there for just a second for that. But up here, I can't believe how quickly this is coming together. Webbo's working on some final painting, touch-ups to finish off the completed look of everything. And yeah, it's not going to be long today until we're able to actually start moving in properly. Let's head down to that. Some of you will remember this, the Goodwool car cover for the Ford GT, this ultra realistic, almost pixelated style look. But there's a reason I want to come over here, because with all of these cars prepped for the Goodwool 3000, and me not really fully revealing what I'm actually doing, because I've said it's not as simple as driving the GT Black series, a lot of people have done 2 + 2 and got 4 and assumed that the Ford GT must be going on the Goodwool Rally, and therefore under the cover it must be stickered up. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint, it's actually not. Nothing to do with that at all. It's just because the cover looks unbelievably cool. I think it's really fun. Plus, now that everything's a little bit cleaner, I can start to use covers a little bit more like this if we want to, rather than those pretty nasty, cheap silver ones that we've used at times before, especially when I'm going to be going away for a while. So once the car has been cleaned up, we can cover it up, and let's be real, this just looks mega. This is such a cool way to see a car. I really, really love it. Getting that was one of the best decisions ever. And there's a Shmoo chilling out on the wing, I've just noticed back there. They seem to be popping up everywhere. In fact, you guys should probably start spotting where they're lurking in the background of the videos, which is quite fun as well, I guess. Back upstairs then.
Hi guys, I'm Shmartin.
How's it going, Martin?
Well, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, Shmartin does carpets.
Literally, carpet tiles. We went with carpet tiles. They're hard wearing. They're going to be good for this kind of purpose. Dark colour obviously keeps it cleaner, or at least doesn't show so much dirt. But this was obviously, like many things here, learning for me. You start from the middle, you work out, you then complete around the outsides.
Correct. I mean, the idea to just do the middles was so that we can paint the skirting, meaning we can do 2 jobs at the same time. I haven't got to wait for the skirting to dry and then go into a room. So what we do is fill the middle in with whole tiles, which is the fast and easy bit. That leaves Webbo then to be able to do what he's doing. And then I can come round afterwards and do the finishy bits. So you can occupy your very first office in the man cave.
You have no idea how excited I am for this.
Oh, I can tell.
Years in the making, literally. While we've been gone, you've also had it all powered up. Derek's been in, done all the electrics.
Yeah, electrics and lights, insulation above the ceiling to keep it warm in the winter and cool in the summer. What more could you ask for?
Absolutely. This is actually quite a big space. It's worked out
Oh,
quite
I think
well.
you need a bigger office.
A bigger office?
Yeah.
Should I just move my desk and plonk it in the middle of the hall?
We should build another mezzanine and start all over again.
Yeah?
Yeah, why not?
Because you completely taken on this whole project. It's a big
Correct.
project.
Yeah, well, we had a conversation a year ago, stood in an empty barn
Yeah, literally an
with
empty
Russell,
barn.
talking about we couldn't install some privacy glass. The conversations went on to what else do you do? And I should have kept quiet, clearly. And yeah, we've done the lot.
And it ended up with, can you build us a whole, like, almost like as big as a house?
Correct.
6 or 7 rooms. Well, you've nailed it, so we're loving the progress.
It's been a journey.
There's things like these glass cutouts that go between the different rooms that give that like extra visual feel. Obviously the doors are on order. They should be a week or 2 away, I guess.
Yep.
And then, yeah, not too long until we can start assembling some desks and have a space up and running. You'll notice over here, we've got a lot of building materials because of course, once we've moved out of the gazebos, all of this is going to be used to build effectively a wall along here to roughly this point. And then we'll have our workshop corner here. A lot of people ask still about next door. I've mentioned it a few times. That's now being used for other purposes, which is why we're basically focusing on barn 1, if you will, maybe in the future, but not for now. But inside here has become a complete and total mess. We did have an additional gazebo at this end, so it's all kind of compressed in while we've been waiting for this move to actually take place. But come on in here to the chaos that is the very temporary little office. Literally, as you can see, all the cabinets featuring the Lego models are all currently sideways. They're going to be heading back outside. This compact squish is also going to very much change by the end of today, which is obviously going to be a huge blessing because this has very much been the temporary solution. When we come back out here, in fact, and the idea with the gas pumps was to spread them all out a bit, which is why we have some here and just dotted all around. Back here, effectively where I'm standing is where the F1 car is going to go. My idea is to have that right here, then to have a seating area here, which will be made with the sofas that are currently in the downstairs lounge once we swap all of those around. So we'll have a seating area behind the F1 car with a wall behind. Ideas for that, stay tuned. And then this is almost the games corner, if you will, with the slot car track, with the arcade machines, with whatever else is going to be over this way, and things that kind of just sit still, we could say, as opposed to moving around like all of the cars do all of the time. And then coming forwards, the cars will effectively fan around through to the workshop corner. In the Halo Bay, I'm going to put the Zenvo in the Halo Bay. Once the Zenvo is back from Denmark, it's been there actually having some really cool upgrades, which I'll be able to tell you all about once it gets back. It's probably going to be resident in there. I mean, it's the most special, extreme, crazy, valuable car in the collection, right? So that is the natural home for it. So that will make its way to the Halo Bay, and probably more of the cars are just going to get covered up once they're cleaned and tidied and looking nice. It's actually kind of cool in a different way. Feels a little bit more like a storage facility, if you will, over on that side with the lifts, with the Benpack auto stackers. It's just crazy for me that this is literally dream becoming reality. And I know it's going to be a major moment when I sit at my own desk up there, kind of roughly where Martin is at the moment. It's going to, I can't wait. We've got a lot of lifting though, because to get everything upstairs, it's going to be hard work. Let's talk about something else that I've seen loads of questions from you guys about since we moved here to the Shmuseum. Because you might remember previously, a lot of the Shmeemobiles, and admittedly things have changed, were living in a car storage facility. Now, I would often go away for extended periods, and obviously looking after all of the cars myself would mean that they would sit still. One of the downsides of cars being parked still on a hard floor for an extended period is that you run the risk of getting flat spots, which obviously on performance cars, in fact on any car, is something you don't want. And that is why I used to use the Kuberth tyre cushions. Now, since we moved here, obviously the cars are much more on rotation. They're coming and going much more frequently, except now that Max's Jag XG220S is back from a couple of events, it's probably going to be stationed here for a little while, and as such, we're going to pop it back onto some tyre cushions, but here we have the brand new Kuberth Easy Rise X tyre cushions. And I want to show you these because they are really quite nice. Firstly, we have, of course, got some Shmeemobiles 50 logos on there. They can do that option. These have a lower angle, which means they're easier for supercars and hypercars to drive on gently. They obviously also have the curvature made for very large wheels and tyres. On the underside, you've got those 4 gel pads, which effectively holds the whole piece in place as you put the car up, and also we've got this carbon fibre effect as well, which goes very nicely with cars like this. So what you do is pull the car forwards or backwards, basically line it up, pop these down on the ground, they'll stay in place and it will position the car and obviously protect the tyres for the longer term. So let's get this started, slide it out of the way, pop it up on those and have it ready for display. And there we go, in. That was easy. Exactly what you're supposed to do. As you can tell, we decided to push it rather than start up the engine, which was a bit of a test that actually showed quite how easy this is because of this new lower ramp angle that you have on the Kuberth Easy Rise X tyre cushions. The car was able to just slide right on up. It's now parked there, looking pretty cool, it has to be said. But with cars like this, in fact, any of these kind of things, with tyres that are hard to find and very expensive when you do find them, obviously you want to protect them. And if I know that car's not moving for a while, it's a bit of a no-brainer. They look the part, and as you'll have seen from many of the collections I've been to visit, a lot of people do this because they've experienced flat spots on tyres at some point before. So I thought about doing some of the others, but the cars are all about to move. We do have a few more sets of the Easy Rise X. Obviously the Team Skookum 812 is shortly to be heading on the Goodwool 3000, but it's a bit of a no-brainer really. So if you're interested in some Kuberth Easy Rise X tyre cushions, the link is down below. I recommend checking them out. And if you're going to be leaving your car parked, for example, over winter, depending whereabouts you might be, it's a bit of a no-brainer, as I said. Perfect way to keep your tyres in good shape, and they look good in the process as well. The next task is that we're moving all of these safely upstairs before we take the cabinets upstairs. And when it comes to moving many of these bespoke 1-18 models, we obviously need to be very, very delicate with them. For example, these, made literally to the spec of my car. That one was first. Give you that one. Thank you. Carefully does it. That was as uncareful as you could be, but we've managed. And then something like this, which is obviously a complete one-off, the red Focus RS that was made to match my actual one. And even the M5, that was the plate it had. Donington grey, race red, bit dusty, but we'll work that out later. For now, we'll go get these upstairs. Next up, cabinets. Tom is kindly helping me with this. These actually aren't too bad. And for those wondering, they're from IKEA. They're called Detolf, and they're great for model cars. Anyway, we're taking these upstairs. Cabinets are all up, shelves are all cleaned, which means we start from the very beginning with the Renault Clio, and we start loading them all up into these shelves, which is really quite fun. I don't know entirely which way to put them. They've always lived leftwards, but maybe they should live facing that way. That was actually a Clio, was it 172, 182? Whereas of course mine was just a regular 1.2, but that's all you could get as a model. People ask me all the time where I got these from. And the long story short is they're not all from one company. There are loads of different companies that make model cars. I mean, between this lot, we've probably got 15 different companies. Effectively, I just search Google. I just search Google for which one I'm after. They might come from eBay, Amazon, different websites. There are a few great shops. Some of them, of course, we've made bespoke directly with the companies that make them. But it comes down to licensing because, for example, a 1 Series of this generation, BMW will only give 1, maybe 2 companies a license for this scale. Then you have various different scales. So there's no rule for it. There's no single rule of thumb for figuring out which ones to get. You'll notice that the cabinets have moved. We decided to move them to the end wall of the room, or at least I wanted to, so that when I'm sitting at my desk at that side, I can look at them all, because that's, for me, a really cool touch. I started collecting these a long time ago. Outside, Martin is making some very quick progress there with the terrace, the patio, the balcony, not quite sure what to call it. The last model to pop away, though, is this, the spec-matched Frontiart 1-18 Zenvo TSRS, of course, in Lila Perlamore with the Lime Gron, my specification. I've got 2 of these, so number 1, because they are limited out of the 150, will forever remain in the box safe and sound. This one, which is number 2, By the way, they all come with a certificate of authenticity, and there are still a few available in the Zenvo shop, will be the one that goes on display. So I've just attached it from the base to pop this in. We do have a few more shelves on order. Obviously, we'll pad it out correctly. And there are still a few more models I need to get to fill out these shelves completely, because I don't have a GTR Pro. There are a couple that have never been made in the right scale, like the GT8, the Porsche 718 GT4. There is a GT4 Club Sport, but I had a regular road GT4, not the race car. And some still need painting. You can spot that instantly. For example, like the Magma Beam GT Black Series, GTR Roadster, the M8, Taycan. Yeah, a couple, the Senna, a few others need to be done. But I'm looking forward to that being filled, and I might actually get a couple of other cabinets and just fill this last bit of space and then shuffle everything up, because obviously there are going to be some sofas and things lying around here. Anyway, I need to tidy all of this away, screwdrivers in a bit of mess, and then get ready for what's happening next. Jump ahead a bit, fast forward, because we've kind of been doing this off camera, but here, between these two boxes, we have a Nitro Concepts D16E height adjustable desk. We also have another one, and using all of our lovely DeWalt tools, we've pre-assembled it. So this is going to be my desk up here. You can actually plug this in, hopefully, if we've got it all right. Just to demo very quickly, plug that in. Obviously, we'll tidy up cables and things a little bit later on. And then I have a magic button back here to lift it up, depending how high I'd like to have it. You can actually go super high. Brad's been using one of these for a while down in the gazebos. But this is going to be my desk up here. Obviously, there's a lot more still to move around, but we are making some nice progress already. And obviously, these have all come in very handy. We need to go and pack them all back away downstairs, make sure everything is where it should be. Yeah, not a bad start. It's just definitely a little bit warm up here, but there is a plan for that as well. That's all going to be coming soon. Speaking of Brad's desk, it's promptly making its way upstairs as well. We've also got some noble chairs to come up and a few other things that we are going to be bringing upstairs for the time being, then reassembling, obviously in here, before I bring my chair up and actually sit there for the first time, which obviously is something at the minute I am quite excited about. Nice work, guys. Got to get this carefully through the glass before the doors go in. Obviously, once the carpet tiles have been completed, some progress has been made over at this end, it will then be time to bring everything up. But there are still the finishing touches, effectively, the exterior loop to be completed on that front. But so far, this is all going quite well. And up here is transitioning to being totally epic. We're making a right mess of this, but hey, some schmoos have arrived in their office. Carefully does it.
Where are we going?
I have no idea. To the back. Well, obviously this cheap IKEA furniture is not going to be the future, but it's certainly the present until we finish decorating and working out exactly what is going to go where. The next thing is to bring my chair up, which is one of those things that you could do on your own, but if you do it on your own, I'm just going to end up putting a hole in the wall in the plasterboard or the blue paint. So kindly, Tom is going to help, and everyone's asked, where's Tom? He's here. He exists. How are we going to do this? What's the safe way to do this?
I don't know.
To the bottom.
Yeah, let's get you there. Do you
I'm
want to
go
go backwards?
Yeah, let's do that. We got it?
There we go.
Cool. Well, watch the stairs. That's not too bad. There's a lot of up and down today. Obviously, this bit where I'm now standing is going to be carpeted. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
But let me pull this through here, because go around the vacuum cleaner. It's going to be time to come and pop this back here, and I guess to get a first feeling of what the view is like. Wow. Let me lift this up slightly. That's cool. That's really cool. That's really, really, really cool. That was what was planned, and it's now kind of here. There's more to go. Stuff on the walls, cabinets, that kind of thing, seating area, door for here. But my view out over there through the windows is literally like 5 years worth of dreaming of one day making this happen. And it's kind of now here, and it's really nice. If I had to guess right now, in the room next to me, I can't see, is probably Tom at Brad's desk doing something. I don't know what. It's probably best I don't know. Now attached to the media office, we have this whole storage space area, which obviously used to be up in the rafters, then was exposed on the mezzanine. I know it's pretty dark in here, but this is where we've got currently like Lego boxes, fans, the spare parts of the center, just all sorts of random things which need a little bit of tidying up. But we also have a few old bits of furniture in here. I'm gonna try and pull out random bits of carbon fiber. I think this is actually the AMG GTR Pro bumper that I'm carrying. I'm just gonna pop that there for the moment. We'll move it all. It doesn't matter if things go falling. It's just for the moment, because I'm gonna pull out this chest. It's gonna be a nightmare. No idea what that is. Until we upgrade furniture, we might as well make the most of what we've got. Well, this is not the easiest thing in the world to move. I'm not going to pretend it's final, because this is a very long way from being in good condition. This chest of drawers has been battered, scratched and all sorts, but it gives us a bit of an idea of what this room is going to be like. I think in my mind, that wall is going to have a couple more of these cabinets. So all of the model cars, plus some other things on display lower down. We've got some more shelves on order, and I've got the clips so we can start filling them up a little bit more, but maybe 2 more of those to fit here quite neatly. Then along the back wall, I like the idea of a half height unit cabinet, chest of drawers, something that runs all the way along, so I can have some pictures along the back wall and then loads of storage running all the way up towards that end. At this side, the intention is to make it a bit of a seating area. So a low sofa where you guys are to the window, some kind of seats, chairs, some kind of layout, coffee table, that type of setup, so that we can just chill in here, have a chat, have a meeting, have my desk, have the whole seating area, and basically have a pretty cool space. That wall, I guess, also some things up on display. Yes, there are going to be things absolutely everywhere. A garage like this is about the personality of the person who owns it, right? So for me, I like bright colors, I like loads of stuff. I mean, just look out this way, look at the cars, look at all of the colors of the cars, look at the banners we have around, look at all the memorabilia, look at all the things, look even at having the floor with the racetrack. It's just like being a kid pushing the car around the racetrack, exactly as we had over in those temporary gazebo offices for the last couple of years. It's kind of go with what feels right, what I would like to have here. I know it's not going to be to everyone's taste, but it's not trying to be to everyone's taste. It's trying to be to my taste and kind of showing that through the building, through the garage. So for me, I don't want something that's seriously over the top mature. It's not what I'm about. I don't want it to be like too grown up. I want it to be fun. I want it to be full of character. I want it to be full of memories and moments and special things, like model cars, like all the pictures that we'll have up here, like the other things that I want to dig out from the storage that have just been sitting, waiting for somewhere to put them, waiting for the perfect space. And now I've literally got that perfect space, and standing here looking at that is the most unreal view ever. I never in my wildest dreams thought that might be possible. The cars, the office. This is like as cool as taking delivery of a new supercar. Just to have this view, to know that, well, this evening and tomorrow morning when I go to work, when I come here and I want to pull my laptop out, which is currently in the lounge downstairs, I can pop it right here, and if my eyes divert from the laptop screen, I'm looking over the cars, looking over the whole garage. It is totally mind-blowing. It's just the coolest thing ever. And this is obviously where we can begin with all the decorating side of things. I mean, coming back out this way very quickly, obviously on this side, the idea for now is it's just going to have Brad's desk in here, but longer term, maybe we end up with a second desk in here. We can have more filing cabinets, units, whatever it's going to be. There'll be a door obviously on the storage room, which works quite well. And then all the way down to the other end of this, just stepping over the tacky stuff on the floor where we've got the carpets in. I don't quite know how I'm going to do this room yet, but the idea is that this is the collectibles room at the minute. So we'll have some kind of cabinets, even if it's just your standard IKEA Billy bookcases or something like that, down this wall, that wall on the other side, with maybe a big table in the middle with some stuff on display, something like that. That would be quite fun. And then a small storage room here, which currently has all of my big swatches in it, but those are going to end up down in the main hall. So those will move out from here. Even the view from this side, you feel like the racetrack's coming out from right under you, but that was always the objective. That was always the idea, to have this feeling that you're on a grandstand. Okay, maybe we should have left this concrete finish style or something rather than carpet down below, but to be looking over the garage, to be looking over the track, to be looking over the action. And it's amazing how well sound insulated it is as well. If there's music playing downstairs, you barely hear it from up here. And that's before we've even put in the doors and fully closed everything up. Still a few openings obviously up top. Oh, what a place. What a cool bit of progress with the Dream Garage. What a cool thing all in. You know, doing the floor was a massive, massive change in terms of it previously looking like a barn, then starting to look like a garage, an actual man cave. Adding the glass downstairs with the SG is that like wow factor, cool, that extra step on top. But now having an office space up here is just, it's Dream Garage in every possible way. I think we'll probably wrap up today there though. A big thanks to Kuberth in terms of the tire cushions, the Easy Rise X that the Jag is sitting on over that away. Link down below, do go check those out, especially if you're going to be storing your car or if you don't drive it all that frequently. But you know what, for now, I'm just going to chill here and take in the view. Thank you very much to you guys as always for your support. A few more big changes to come that I'm very, very, very much looking forward to. Think lighting, think banners, think more of the small details, but all very soon. That's it for now. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.